Okay, go ahead, Dave.
I'm Dave Gonzalez, live with the newsroom here at Action News 8. As you probably know, we just experienced a major quake here on the Central Coast, and we're still trying to get things together here ourselves. We understand that there is some damage in the Santa Cruz area.
For those of us living in Santa Cruz in October of 1989, the Loma Prieta earthquake was really a devastating moment in our lives. But really the place that impacted most was the business community downtown, where people were killed and people lost their businesses. And the old buildings that we celebrated from the 19th century here in Santa Cruz were devastated by the earthquake.
In Santa Cruz, with National Guardsmen patrolling the streets, stunned residents looked on in disbelief. The heart of the city, the Pacific Garden Mall, lay in ruins.
3 or 4 weeks before this, that was a parking lot, and 4 or 5 weeks before that, it was still just somebody's fantasy. Within a day or two of the earthquake, there was a general sense that retail in downtown was really at risk.
It was amazing the way this community came together because they wanted to give us a Christmas season so we could open the day after Thanksgiving, which was in late November, and this was early October.
We arranged for these pavilions, these tents, these modular kinds of units to be here in time to be set up in parking lots and to be organized in a way to where merchants could have space to sell.
8 pavilions were purchased. I remember reading the paper thinking, well, that's dumb. Who's going to go to business in a tent? And we ended up being one of those people.
I like to say it was the Chamber's finest hour. I don't mean that to denigrate anything else the Chamber has ever done since or before.
It was a miracle that they were able to pull it off, and they did.
Santa Cruz was alive and well and doing business 4 or 5 weeks after the Loma Prieta earthquake.
Literally busloads of people were coming from over the hill from all over to help support what was then the center of town. And then this is the tent we were in, and there's a shot of the interior. Understand that the city was not who built it. There was a triumvirate of 3 organizations, the Downtown Association, the Chamber of Commerce, and the Cultural Council. And representatives from those 3 groups called the Phoenix Partnership would meet.
Phoenix Partnership was an important component to the success of those businesses who were displaced staying in business. There was a need for a coming together of many organizations, and the Chamber was one of those organizations that came to the forefront and helped with the vision of what this downtown should become.
The guy who really ought to be recognized as the father of our existing downtown is John Leisure.
July 17th, I think, actually, 1989, he became the executive director. The eyes kind of looked at John and said, John, this job for you would be a piece of cake. October 17th of 1989, we all realized how big that piece of cake turned out to be.
Ted would essentially run the Chamber, and John would take the next few months and try to organize downtown in a way that would preserve downtown.
Between the two of them, they were key factors in not only rebuilding the downtown, but maintaining downtown businesses here in the immediate aftermath of the earthquake and then in the years ahead. He would do the real work outside, and I would kind of try to hold the pieces together on the Chamber organization. So that's how we launched into 1990.
Every one of those store owners was at risk. Everyone felt that they were on the edge of failure. And John became the therapist for 100 merchants in the downtown to keep them strong and keep them focused and bring them back into the urban center. That legacy is going to last for 100 years in the downtown of Santa Cruz.